Hey, what's up, football fans? Welcome back. Today, we've got some juicy stuff to break down about the Kansas City Chiefs walking away from this trade season with a bit of a sting. Missed trade opportunities, rivalry drama, and, oh yeah, Buffalo Bills GM Brandon Beane getting his so-called revenge. Let's talk about what's going on in the NFL, how the Chiefs got outplayed, and why this all matters as we look toward the rest of the season. All right, so first up, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and their recent struggles in the trade market. Now, the Chiefs have been looking to beef up their receiving core to complement the superstar quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is an absolute beast, but even he benefits from having elite weapons on the field. Enter the potential targets: Amari Cooper and Davante Adams. Amari Cooper, a seasoned veteran with some serious skills, was on the Chiefs' radar. Cooper could have been that reliable target Mahomes needs, especially in those clutch moments. Then there's Davante Adams. Talk about a game changer. Adams is one of the best route runners in the game and could have elevated the Chiefs' offense to new heights. But here's the kicker: both of these top-tier receivers slipped through the Chiefs' fingers, and that's a big deal. So what went down? The Chiefs were actively trying to bring in these guys. But Brandon Beane, the GM of the Buffalo Bills, came in hot and snagged Amari Cooper before the Chiefs could secure him. Now, this leaves Kansas City in a bit of a bind. Without Cooper or Adams, the Chiefs are left with depth players who can't really take the place of those star receivers. This affects not just their offensive ceiling, but also puts more pressure on Mahomes and the rest of the offense to perform without that extra firepower. Now, let's shift gears and talk about Brandon Beane and what he did. Last night's draft was a roller coaster, and Beane made some bold moves that have everyone talking. You see, Beane managed to not only acquire Amari Cooper for the Bills, but also block the Chiefs from landing another top receiver prospect, Xavier Worthy. Here's the deal. During the draft, the Chiefs were eyeing Xavier Worthy, one of the fastest wideouts in the draft class. This kid's got speed for days and could have been a perfect fit for Mahomes' high-octane offense. But Beane, seeing an opportunity, traded back with the Chiefs and got himself some sweet draft picks, allowing him to grab Worthy and also snag Cooper from the Browns. It's like Beane was playing 4D chess while the Chiefs were stuck playing checkers. By making this move, Beane not only strengthened his own team, but also stymied the Chiefs' plans to enhance their receiving core. This is what some might call revenge, especially considering the Bills and Chiefs have a heated postseason rivalry. The Bills have knocked the Chiefs out of the playoffs 3 times in the last 4 years, so there's definitely some heat there. So, what does this mean for the Chiefs? Well, first off, they're left without that crucial receiving upgrade they were aiming for. Sure, depth players are great, but they're no Amari Cooper or Davante Adams. This impacts the Chiefs' offensive dynamics in a few ways. Without Cooper, Mahomes loses one of his go-to targets, which could limit his effectiveness, especially in the red zone. And without Adams, another top-tier receiver is off the table, meaning the Chiefs have to rely more on their existing roster, which might not be as explosive. This could make the Chiefs' offense more predictable and easier to defend against. But here's the thing: the Chiefs are still a powerhouse with Mahomes at the helm. They've got a solid running game, a strong offensive line, and a well-coached system. So while missing out on these trade opportunities is a setback, it doesn't mean the Chiefs are out of the Super Bowl race. However, it does put more pressure on their existing players to step up and fill the void. All right, let's talk about how Brandon Beane is handling the fallout from his moves. After trading with the Chiefs and acquiring Cooper, Beane faced some criticism from Bills fans who were scratching their heads over the decision to not take a receiver in the first round and instead pile on draft picks. Beane stood his ground, explaining that his focus was on building a sustainable, long-term team. He wasn't too concerned about who the Chiefs were picking, and he emphasized the value of the additional draft picks they acquired. According to Beane, having flexibility in the draft gives the Bills a lot of options. From a strategic standpoint, Beane is playing the long game. He's building depth, investing in future talent, and making sure the Bills are well-equipped for the seasons to come. This approach might not yield immediate results, but it's a solid foundation for sustained success. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, the AFC landscape. The Chiefs aren't the only team dealing with trade dynamics this season. The AFC is getting a bit more competitive, especially with moves like Beane's. The Bills, already one of the top teams in the conference, have now added a major weapon in Amari Cooper. This not only strengthens their offense, but also makes them an even bigger threat to the Chiefs and other AFC contenders. On the other side, the Raiders holding on to Davante Adams keeps another top receiver out of the Chiefs' hands, ensuring that KC has to rely on their existing roster without that extra firepower. This creates a scenario where the Chiefs have to navigate a more challenging AFC. Teams are beefing up, making strategic moves, and potentially collaborating to ensure that no single team, like the Chiefs, can dominate unchecked. It's a more level playing field now, and the Chiefs will have to adapt to stay ahead. So, what's next for Kansas City? Well, the trade deadline is still a couple of weeks away, so there's still time for the Chiefs to make some moves. But with the top receivers off the board, they need to get creative. One option is targeting younger players who could develop into solid contributors. For example, Demarcus Robinson might still be on the Chiefs' radar. He has potential. But again, he's not on the same level as Cooper or Adams. The Chiefs might also look at other positions to bolster their roster, ensuring they remain competitive on all fronts. Additionally, the Chiefs could focus on internal development, grooming their current wide receivers to step up their game. This includes players like Travis Kelce, who, while a tight end, is a crucial part of the passing game, and other young receivers who could fill the gaps left by missed trade opportunities. Another angle is that the Chiefs could explore less traditional options, such as undrafted free agents, or even flipping some of their own draft picks to target mid-tier players who can provide depth and flexibility. Let's talk about what all of this means in the long run. Missing out on Amari Cooper and Davante Adams is a significant setback, but the Chiefs are still one of the most potent offenses in the league. Mahomes is an MVP-caliber quarterback, and the team has a strong coaching staff led by Andy Reid. However, as the AFC gets tougher with teams like the Bills becoming even more formidable, the Chiefs need to maintain their edge. They can't rest on their laurels, and the lack of major receiving upgrades could make their journey to another Super Bowl a bit more challenging. From a fan perspective, this is frustrating. Chiefs fans expect their team to be at the top, and seeing missed opportunities can feel like a dent in the team's aspirations. On the flip side, Bills fans are probably feeling pretty good about their GM's moves, knowing that their team is now even stronger and more competitive. Looking ahead, what kind of moves can we expect from the Chiefs? With the trade deadline approaching, they might look for smaller, high-upside players who can contribute without costing too much in terms of salary cap or draft picks. There could also be some interesting trades involving players at other positions. For instance, if there's a team struggling in the AFC that could use a defensive back or a running back, the Chiefs might be able to strike a deal that strengthens another facet of their team. Moreover, the Chiefs could use their depth to make strategic plays during the season. If injuries strike or if certain positions need reinforcement based on performance, the Chiefs can remain flexible and adapt to the evolving dynamics of the league. Back to Brandon Beane. His moves show that he's not just thinking about the present, but also the future. By acquiring more draft picks and strengthening the Bills' roster, Beane is setting up the Bills to be a dominant force for years to come. This kind of foresight is crucial in the NFL, where team success is often cyclical. By building depth and investing in young talent, Beane is ensuring that the Bills remain competitive even as veteran players age or move on. For the Chiefs, this raises the bar even higher. They can't just rely on past successes, they need to continue innovating and improving to stay ahead of the competition. The AFC is no longer a one-man show, and the Chiefs will have to work harder to maintain their position at the top. In the grand scheme of things, the Chiefs missing out on major trade opportunities is a hiccup, but not a career-ending blow. They still have Mahomes, a talented coaching staff, and a solid roster. However, the AFC is heating up, and the Chiefs need to stay sharp. Brandon Beane's moves with the Bills are a reminder that in the NFL, it's all about strategy and timing. The Bills are now stronger, and the Chiefs have to step up their game to keep up. As for predictions, I think the Chiefs will still be in the Super Bowl conversation, but they'll have to navigate a more competitive landscape. The Bills, with their new additions, could also make a deep playoff run. It's going to be an exciting season with plenty of twists and turns, and both teams are set to be major players. All right, that's it for today's breakdown. What do you think about the Chiefs missing out on Cooper and Adams? Do you think Beane's strategy will pay off for the Bills? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Catch you next time.